Hey there, it's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Are you ready to see what's in my April makeup basket as I continue to pan the chocolate bar palette? Let's get into it. I've shaken up everything from the month of February, so I'll go on and link that video in the card above. And I made a video yesterday talking about my brush roll that I bought from Lotus. Her Etsy shop is a soft black star. I'm going to go on and link that video in the card above as well, and link to her shop in the description box below, because I'm not going to talk too much more about the makeup bag and the brush roll kind of as separate entities from now on, because I know that you're probably familiar with these videos. So let's go on and get into it. This month I've really wanted to concentrate on the Candied Violet shade from my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. Mine is not the original Candied Violet. I found a very similar shade from another Too Faced palette. So I'm going to be using that in all the Get Ready With Me's. This is going to be the first look posting within the next couple of days, so if you're interested, be on the lookout for that. Every makeup item that I've chosen kind of focuses in around that purple shade, and then this look in particular focuses on all the deeper shades in the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. So semi-sweet, triple fudge. I did use a little bit of salted caramel, obviously the Candied Violet, and then I went in with some deeper tones. So the two palettes I'm really focusing on for the month of April. Of course, Too Faced Chocolate Bar is my, obvious go-to. And then the other palette I'm really making a concentrated effort on is my Lorac Mega Pro palette, because I'm really focusing on finishing black and deep teal for having a strong finish to the For Love of Panning challenge that kind of closes down at the end of this month. So I'm working steadily on those, and I wanted to make some progress in a couple other shades, but I've fallen in love with this look. So I might just stick with it for the rest of the month. I don't know, but I am going to be posting several Get Ready With Me's if you're wanting to shake up some of your, eyeshadow combinations if you're trying to pan the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette along with me. So as far as my foundation routine, the first thing, I recently finished my Mario Badescu Rose Water Toning Spray, and so I pulled this travel size bottle of MAC Fix Plus out of my makeup bag that I use when I go out of town. I want to knock this out instead of just immediately going out to buy another setting spray. And then for the past few weeks, I've really been struggling with dry skin and dry patches. It's kind of weird. I've never really dealt with the kind of dry skin that I've been dealing with lately. So this is a product that I've kind of had on my radar for a while. I decided to bite the bullet. It is the IT Cosmetics Feel the Moment Skin Rejuvenating Hydrating Primer Serum. This is one of those types of products you can use it with makeup, or you can use it as part of your skincare routine at morning and nighttime for moisturization. So what I've been doing is I want to finish this tube of the Urban Decay Naked Skin One and Done Hybrid Complexion Perfector in the shade Light. So what I do is I pour a pump of this onto the back of my hand. I mix it with 2 to 3 pumps of this foundation, and then I blend it onto my skin with a dampened beauty sponge. I have been very, very pleased with the results. I haven't been battling the dry skin. The one thing I will say about this IT Cosmetics serum, it has a very strong, distinct smell. It's kind of like tea tree meets herbal. It's very medicinal, and it is the kind of thing that it smells for a good 10 to 15 minutes on my skin after I use it. So if you're sensitive to fragrances, that is something that I will admit I had to get over with this product. I do enjoy what it does for my skin, but it's just the fragrance on it is it's overpowering, to be quite honest. So just be forewarned of that if this is something that you're wanting to put on your wish list or try out in the near future. It does say it's an anti-aging armor, that it has a regenerative concentrate that you can use on your face, your neck, your décolleté, and you can use it in place of your daily moisturizer or even your night cream. So like I said, it is a multitasking thing. It's just the smell. Whew. The smell is a little intense. So as far as like moving on with my foundation routine, I really want to knock out Again, along with that Urban Decay Naked Skin, since it's a lighter to medium coverage foundation, I decided to go on and pull out what's left of my Laura Gellar Filter Finish Setting Powder in Universal. I want to finish this by the end of April. I mean, as you can see, you know, you can see the grid of the baked pan under this powder. So I'm going to just go on and knock it out and call it done with this setting powder, because I do have several setting powders at the moment. I've accumulated a few, so now it's time for me to commit and just start panning and finishing them. So I think I can do that within the next couple of weeks. I do enjoy this powder. It gives a nice luminosity to the skin, so it is worth checking out, especially since Ulta is going on with that 21 days of beauty sale. So it is worth putting on your radar. Then in terms of concealer and eye primer, I reached into my traveling makeup bag because I really wanted to give some concentrated use to some of those products. I pulled out my NYX Gotcha Covered Total Coverage Waterproof Concealer in the shade Light, just because I use this whenever I go out of town, but to be honest, I hadn't given it a really fair shake on how I felt about it. This is the thickest concealer I have ever used. I really have to make sure that I warm it up between my fingers before I apply it to my skin, because it does not budge. I will show you, like when you drop it onto your skin, it is so thick. I mean, it doesn't run, it doesn't move, and seriously, this is like tattoo coverage opacity. It is thick. So I went on and decided to just kind of bust that out for this month, really give it a good go to see how I feel, because I've fallen in love with the heavier duty concealers. I really enjoyed using the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eyes. I've really enjoyed the Amazing Cosmetics concealer. This is along the same lines, again with the squeezy tube, and it does not budge. It's very tacky, but extremely full coverage. So I don't like to use it anywhere else on my face for blemishes. What I do for that is I just apply a little bit extra of the Naked Skin, kind of dab it onto those areas and blend it in with my Beauty Blender. I'm good to go. So that's kind of that with the concealer. And then as far as my eye primer, I decided to put away my MAC Paint Pot for a while. I pulled out what's left of my Lorac behind the scenes eye primer that I generally keep in my traveling makeup bag, just because I'm kind of ready just for a change of pace and get away from the paint pot for a month, and then, you know, I'll make the decision for the month of May if I'm going to continue using this or go back to the paint pot. So that's kind of where I am for the base products. Then going into the next of the facial products, I really want to finish another bronzer out of my collection. I don't have a whole lot of this left, so I decided to pull out my IT Cosmetics CC Plus Radiance Ombre Bronzer in Warm Radiance. All I have is what's left of the ring around the pan. So now that I've finished the shade that I was using to contour with out of the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, I have been contouring with this bronzer. I really think that I can move this out of my collection by the end of April. So that's going to feel really good to move out another large product out of my collection. This takes up a ton of space, even though this is a very wonderful product to use. I have enjoyed every single second of using this on a daily basis. So I will miss it when it's gone, but at the same time, I mean, this compact is huge. I mean, it's bigger than this Laura Gellar compact. It's bigger than this bottle of setting spray. It takes up a lot of space, so it'll be nice to move it out. Then as far as blush, even though I'm going to be posting several get ready with me's before the end of April with this kind of candied violet shade, I want to go on and make a very concentrated effort on my Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in Blushing Bride. So my blush is going to stay very consistent with those looks, but you can change it up if you have other blush that you prefer out of your collection. This is where I am currently because I want to have a strong you know, usage on this. Again, for the Love of Panning challenge, I'm trying to expand the pan by the end of the month, so that's why I'm going to be focusing solely on this blush for the next couple of weeks. Then lip color wise, I pulled out 3 options in particular to really focus on this month. The first one is the one that I'm currently wearing. This is one of my holy grail top 5 lipsticks of all time. It is the Revlon Super Lustrous Lipstick in the shade Berry Hot, or number 660. I love this because it's an everyday lipstick with a little bit of unexpected surprise. It's not nude, but it's not pink. It does have a purple hue, but you can make it very wearable and very functional, versatile, with many of your different moods with your eyeshadow. Today, I've paired it with a darker, smokier eye. I've also used it kind of as a brighter lip, wearing it with a lighter spring eye, you know, maybe more lilac tones, and then, you know, kind of a lighter, springier blush. It's very, very versatile. It works on all sorts of skin tones, but again, it's not nude, it's not pink, it's not your everyday, your lips but better kind of mauve shade. There's that little bit of unexpected wow, you know, kind of a wow factor is a good way to describe it. So this is always a lipstick I have to have in my collection, and why not, with it being drugstore prices. Then the next one, when I saw this on the Octoly website, I'm going to include everything with the Octoly information in the description box below. This is 100% Pure Cosmetics, one of their Cocoa Matte Balm lipsticks. Let me see what the actual name of it is. It's the Cocoa Butter Matte Lipstick from 100% Pure in the shade Blood Orange. 100% Pure, if you're wanting to go cruelty-free with your makeup, if you want to get away from the synthetic ingredients and preservatives and additives in your makeup, 100% Pure is a brand that you need to put on your radar. This lipstick, just like I love their mascara, I've loved their moisturizers and their body lotions and body scrubs. This is just as fresh in the ingredients. Their lipstick smells like blueberries. It tastes like blueberries. But like I said, when I saw this on the website and I saw this color called Blood Orange, I immediately sent them an email to say, please let me review this, because this color is me in a tube. It is going to be perfect for the fall time, because while it is a red lipstick, there is the slightest little bit of orange. So if you're really into warm tone shadows, or you're really into wearing smokier eye looks, this is perfect. And what I love about this particular matte formula, it's creamy enough where it's not overly drying on the lips, but at the same time, it's a matte lipstick, so you don't have to worry about it traveling all over your mouth and getting outside the lines or on your teeth. You know how it goes with dark lipstick. Sometimes it's a little bit more high maintenance, because you have to make sure it's not going to go everywhere. But like I said, go check the description box below. I'm going to include all the Octoly information down there. I love, 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 love this formula. And one thing I will have to say, it is a little bit smaller than, say, like a Revlon lipstick, but that's a good thing, because when you get a lipstick formula like this, because it doesn't have all the preservatives and additives in it, you're gonna want to use it immediately. This is not the type of formula that you want to collect a lot of different colors in, because they're going to go bad very, very quickly. So if you find a shade that you love, like you want a My Lips But Better, or your classic red, or your classic deep vampy tone that you know you only need one of, but you know you're gonna wear it a ton, this is the brand to go for. Seriously, go check them out. And then the last lip, I actually wore this in my video yesterday. If you want to go check that out about the brush roll review, this is my e.l.f. matte lip crayon in the shade Berry Sorbet. I always like to have kind of a berry tone because it is super flattering on my skin tone. It works well with the Tarte Blushing Bride blush, and I love the price point on these, because seriously, this lip crayon is like $3 at Target. So the Berry Sorbet color, it is a it's a deeper color if you're not into super deep colors, but it's not so deep that it's inappropriate for springtime. So I really love reaching for a color like this. And if you're wanting a shade comparison, it's lighter than Max Rebel, but deeper than like your My Lips But Better kind of shade. So this is one that I love reaching for all the time. I'm really a huge fan of the matte lip crayon formula, because just kind of like I was talking about with the 100% Pure matte lipstick, this is the type of formula that you can put it on your lips. It's creamy enough where it's not overly drying, but at the same time, it does not travel anywhere else around the lips. So If I don't want to, I don't have to wear a lip liner with this. I can just line my lips with it and go, and there is a sharpener at the end of this pencil, so worth your time for $3. Then kind of going into the eye makeup side of things, I pulled out a lot of shadow bases for this month because with the Candied Violet shade, I had about 14 combinations that I tried as I was attempting to make the Candied Violet shade work for me, so I pulled out a lot of different bases to pull from. The first thing that I re-pulled out again from the month of March is my Nude Sticks magnetic matte eye color pencil in the shade Taupe. This is a perfect shade if you want to tone down some of the glitter. I received this as a sample from Sephora with a purchase, I mean, months back. But it's the perfect shade if you really want to tone down some of the glitter shimmeriness in your deeper shades to give you kind of a more wearable everyday base. So this is just a good way for me to continue to get some usage out of it. I also pulled out another favorite that I use to tone down shadows. It is my Maybelline Color Tattoo in Toughest Taupe. It's a little bit cooler toned than that Nude Stick shade, but it works really, really well under sparkly purple shades if you are interested. So, and also I heard Cherish mention this not too long ago that she loves to use this in her eyebrows. So it gives you another additional way to give some love to these color tattoos because again, like potted formulas like this, they dry out really fast. So we want to make sure that we give them the love and attention before we have to go on and start reviving them or just decluttering them out of our collection. Then the eye base that I'm wearing today under this look is the Maybelline Color Tattoo Concentrated Crayon in Lilac Lust. I will show this in more detail in that Get Ready With Me, or I use the Taupe Nude Sticks pencil under this particular eye look to give a really intense smoky look. I also pulled out the Maybelline Color Tattoo Gold Rush Crayon because I've made use of Creme Brulee with the Candied Violet shade. I really love that combination together. And then two more eyeshadow cream sticks that I wanted to review with the Octoly website. Again, the information will be linked in the description box below. They are the Julep Eyeshadow One-on-One Cream to Powder eyeshadow sticks. These two colors in particular intrigued me because I wanted to try out the formula. This is my first experience with Julep. They do hold up well during the day. They don't crease. I prefer setting them with an eyeshadow on top to make sure that nothing budges or smudges, but you do have the ability to wear these on their own if that's what you prefer. The two colors that they sent me, the first one is an everyday go-to. It's called Pearl Shimmer. This is very similar to like Maybelline Color Tattoo in Creamy Beige. It's just a perfect kind of champagne nude color. I'll show you in a swatch right there. This is the Pearl Shimmer. And then on the other side of these pencils is a smudge applicator that you can use to blend that in. So if you're wanting to use this as an inner corner highlight, you can go on and stamp in that area and then smudge it out, or you can use it on your brow bone. Another color that this is kind of similar to is that Benefit Watts Up, the highlighter stick. Very, very similar in tone. So again, if you wanted to use this as a cheek highlight, you've got that ability in addition to your eyes. The color that intrigued me that I really wanted to try, I'm so thrilled that they sent this to me, is the shade Evergreen Shimmer, because with the color of the year being green, I thought that this would be perfect to bust out, especially on my lower lash line. And I also like pairing this with Gilded Ganache out of that Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette to kind of put some green back into that shadow. So that's the Evergreen Shimmer. These are fantastic, and I love wearing this on my lower lash line, and I will be layering this on my lid with Gilded Ganache later in the year as I pan that shade. And then I also pulled out this Maybelline Color Tattoo in Charcoal Chrome just to give me a really smoky base. It's kind of a, there's a slight shimmer to it, but it's more of a charcoal matte gray color to really tone down Candied Violet. You know, when I was kind of playing around with eyeshadow bases, I actually prefer the browner tones to this, but this is great if you're trying to work with a gunmetal shade or even black to pan it. And then I also pulled out my Pixie Idolize or Wet n Wild Pixie Idolize eyeshadow crayon. I love these. And also, this was before I received the Julep eyeshadow cream pencil, but they are very, very similar in tone. And then, of course, Feel Safe, you know, NYX Jumbo eyeshadow pencil in Milk. And I also, this was a product that I bought several weeks back in preparation to pan at Candied Violet. I wanted to try out the Revlon Colorstay Cream Eyeshadow in the shade, of course they don't put the shade name on here. It's whatever the purple one is. It's really pretty. It's rather sheer, but when you see them at your drugstores, it's that really pretty kind of amethyst shade. It has a brush applicator in the top of it, which I could care less about. I mean, it makes it more intense on your eyes, but I'm planning to use it as a shadow base anyway, so I like to lightly apply it onto my skin with my ring finger and then go on and set it with eyeshadow. And then in terms of, you know, kind of my finishing touches on my look, I'm still working with the same mascaras. I've got my Clarins Super Volume Mascara. I've got my 100% Pure Mascara that I love to use on my lower lash line in the black tea. All right, sorry my camera cut off there, but the next thing that I've really been wanting to try out for the last couple of weeks, this is from Clarins, and it's their 4 color, what is this legitimately called? It's the four color styler or stylo pen, 4 color all-in-one pen for eyes and lips. Do you remember those neat pens when we were kids that had multiple colors, kind of your one and done, one-stop shop type of situations? This is what this is. There's a nude liner, and then you get 3 colors of eyeliners in a navy, a black, and an espresso shade. So it's great for on-the-go travel. And the colors on these, it's a little bit dry when you first apply it. I would not recommend using this in your waterline because it is a little bit of a drier formula, but I have the black eyeliner from this pen on today, and I went on and set it with my Lorac Mega Pro Black. But the colors on these are super crazy good. I love how deep this espresso shade is. I love that the black is a deep matte black, and look at that navy. It's great on the lower lash line if you really want a striking pop of color, or, you know, if I'm really wanting a bright look, like one of the looks I'm also going to be posting after this smokier look is a very spring lilac, mixes with the Candied Violet shade with a blue liner. This is really amazing to do that as well. So if you're intrigued by a product like this, or you're trying to have kind of a you know, just simplified makeup routine if you're on the go, this product is worth checking out. So again, I got this via the Octoly website. I'm going to go on and include all the information for that in the description box below, so feel free to check this out for yourself. But so far, so good. I'm pretty happy with it. Then the next thing that I've been pulling out in terms of my waterline, I finished my NYX Wonder Pencil as far as a nude liner. And so I've got a nude liner from MAC that I've been using. And I also saw this Pixie Extra Eye Bright Liner at Target. It's a really pink toned eyeliner that I like to use in my waterline, and I also use it to kind of highlight my inner corner of my eyes. I really fell in love with using really bright pink pencils several years ago, so when I saw this at Target, I knew that it was going to be a product that I'm a pretty big fan of, and so far so good. It does last fairly well in my waterline. As you can see, I've got a little bit of the pink tone to brighten up the purple around my eyes, and I've got it as a shadow base under Champagne Truffle in my inner corner area. I really, really like that pencil. It is pretty good. And then just my eyelash curler. This was a no-name brand that I got at Kroger. I decided to use a lash primer this month because I found this in the back of my makeup collection, so I decided to bring that out. And then in terms of liner, I brought out again my Revlon Colorstay 2-in-1 Angled Kajal that I was using in February because I'm trying to pan the deep teal shade from my Lorac Mega Pro palette. This shade is a very, very deep teal, so I love to use it as a base on my lower lash line, and then I set it with that Lorac Mega Pro deep teal shade. As you can see, I've got it on my lower lash line today. I really do love this formula. It's kind of hard to find in the drugstore though. Sometimes I see them at Walgreens, sometimes I see them at CVS, but they're not as popular even though they are a new product, because as you can see, the tip on this is very angled and it's a chunkier pencil, but I don't see them as often as I thought I would. I don't know. Just they're worth buying if you see them, because they have a charcoal shade, there's a fig shade which is like a grape aubergine color, and then the evergreen is that deep teal. And I don't think they had maybe they did have a navy, I don't remember. I picked up the fig and the teal shade because those are two that I know that I will use and go through. So that's about it. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I hope that it inspires you to shop your stash, rediscover some really great products that you know and love out of your makeup collection. Like I said, within the next couple of days, I'm going to be posting this Get Ready With Me first. And then I've got a very springy look that's kind of lilac-y based with pastel shadows, since pastels are all the rage right now. We've got Pan That Palette update, and I might post one or two more Get Ready With Me's with the kind of candied violet shade, because I'm going through the backup shade pretty quickly, since the pan of that was quite a bit smaller than the original candied violet shade. And that'll be a great way to close out the month of April before going on to May's makeup look, which I'm very, very excited to talk about and show you the products I'm using for that. So that's it for now. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you soon. So catch you later.